Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys trade for Myles Garrett? Here's why it makes sense for both sides. Jerry Jones vowed to go all in last offseason, but has the chance to make good on that promise 1 year later. After former NFL Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett requested a trade from the Cleveland Browns, the Cowboys have the potential to round out one of the most disruptively dominant pairs of edge rushers in the sport. Jones and the Cowboys have added motivation to be aggressive this offseason, after watching the Philadelphia Eagles win the Super Bowl for the second time, and Dallas hasn't returned to Super Sunday since beating the Pittsburgh Steelers back in 1996. Myles Garrett blockbuster Dallas Cowboys trade proposal. Pro Football Focus included a blockbuster Garrett trade in the outlet's latest mock draft that could catapult both the Cowboys and Browns' offseason goals. Trade terms: Browns receive 2025 first-round pick, number 12, 2026 first-round pick. Cowboys receive edge defender Myles Garrett, Jordan Plocker writes for PFF. The Cowboys win the Myles Garrett lottery and pair him with Micah Parsons to form a lethal pass-rushing duo in Dallas. Meanwhile, the Browns continue rebuilding their defense by selecting talented cornerback Will Johnson, giving them a formidable pairing alongside Denzel Ward. Garrett and Parsons would certainly be a worthy counterpunch to the Eagles' offensive line and the kind of duo that could make life miserable for Jalen Hurts, and in Washington, Jayden Daniels, within the NFC East. The Cowboys have been on the cusp of meaningfully competing for years, and Garrett is the type of piece who moves the ball further toward that goal. Meanwhile, in Cleveland, the Browns would add a pair of first-round picks, including a top 15 selection that could either be used as ammunition to trade up for a quarterback or add a game-altering cornerstone for their continued rebuild. Mayfield Sports Marketing. Call Mayfield Sports Marketing at 262-366-8188 to schedule Green Bay Packers players or alumni for your corporate appearance or product promotion. Our booking agents will work on your behalf to get you the best price for your desired sports speaker. Mayfield Sports Marketing has earned a reputation of being the one to call for booking top athletes to speak at events and trade shows. To learn more about Packers players or alumni appearance costs and booking fees, please call us today. Cowboys may cut ties with $39 million NFL playmaker. The Dallas Cowboys face a litany of decisions this offseason as NFL rumors swirl that the franchise could move on from several key players. As new head coach Brian Schottenheimer molds his team, a key wide receiver could be moving on in NFL free agency. ESPN's Bill Barnwell outlined a list of the top candidates to change teams heading into the NFL offseason. Cowboys wideout Brandon Cooks is listed among the players who could be on the move. At this point, he's probably a third wideout a team is relying on to win versus man coverage with a little bit of wriggle, Barnwell detailed in a February 17, 2025, article titled, 2025 NFL Offseason, 17 WRs available in free agency or trades. Cooks ranked last among all wide receivers in yards per route run versus zone coverage in 2024. While Cooks is still only 31 years old, the well-traveled veteran entered the league at age 20, so there's more tread on his tires than for other players at the same age. He made $8 million with the Cowboys last season, but as an unrestricted free agent, he's probably looking at something closer to $3 million on a one-year deal. For a player who has dealt with concussions and has made $116 million during his career, that might not make it worth his while to return. Cowboys WR Brandon Cooks is likely headed for a more affordable deal than his previous two-year, $39.7 million contract. Cooks just completed a two-year, $39.7 million contract with the Cowboys. The veteran receiver is unlikely to land a lucrative deal in NFL free agency, meaning Dallas could look to re-sign Cooks on a much more affordable contract. Spotrac projects Cooks' market value to be a one-year, $5 million contract, much less than his previous deal. It is reasonable to think Dallas may be more than willing to re-sign Cooks on this kind of contract, yet, re-signing Cooks also takes away opportunities from younger receivers and potential rookies Dallas selects in the 2025 NFL Draft. Cowboys playmaker Brandon Cooks is coming off the worst statistical season of his NFL career. Cooks is coming off the worst statistical season of his NFL career. The 2024 season proved to be an unfortunate combination of Cooks battling injuries, while Dak Prescott missed the majority of the campaign with a hamstring injury. Cooks posted just 26 receptions for 259 yards and 3 touchdowns in 10 appearances during the 2024 season. Cooks' numbers have fallen precipitously over the past 5 years, Barnwell added. The 2014 first-round pick averaged 2.3 yards per route run during the 2020 season with the Texans. Since then, his route efficiency has dropped in each consecutive season. He was at 2.1 in 2021, 1.7 in 2022, 1.3 in 2023, and all the way down to 0.9 this past season with the Cowboys, when he had 259 yards across 10 games. His 2024 mark ranked 100th out of 114 wide receivers who ran 200 routes or more, down from 13th in 2020. It's fair to look toward the absence of Dak Prescott as a potential factor for Cook's struggles last season, but he was also declining amid healthy, productive seasons from Prescott in 2022 and 2023. Cowboys target Ashton Jeanty makes preferred NFL landing spot perfectly clear. The Dallas Cowboys have had rumored interest in Ashton Jeanty for months, and the Frisco native is putting work on the campaign trail to orchestrate a homecoming. Frisco, the NFL offseason is in full swing as the calendar moves into the middle of February. The coaching carousel has run its course and teams are gearing up for free agency beginning in March and the draft to follow soon after. This is a significant period for all 32 teams, but an especially important time for the Dallas Cowboys as they have installed a new coaching regime that will likely have to replace a number of key contributors from last season's roster. One of the areas of focus this offseason will be at running back, a position the Cowboys let fall to the wayside a year ago. Brian Schottenheimer's offense projects a heavy emphasis on the ground game, so that same strategy will be ill-advised this time around. It appears the draft will be the ideal place for Dallas to snag their running back of the future. A deep class at the position will give them options to best strategize serving that need while attacking the other holes on the roster. However, Ashton Jeanty, widely believed to be the best running back prospect in the draft, is clamoring to be a Cowboy. Jeanty is a native of Frisco, Texas, playing his high school ball at Lone Star High School. He has hinted in previous interviews his desire to return to his old stomping grounds and continued that homecoming campaign in an interview with former NFL head coach John Gruden. Gruden asked him simply which city he would like to live in and play football, to which Jeanty replied, "I was just there a few years ago playing high school football, in the Ford Center, up there in Frisco, Texas. To be back in Dallas practicing in that facility again, playing in that facility again, that would be amazing." Jeanty's requests have not devolved into demands or warnings for other teams not to draft him. But his not-so-subtle hints are pretty glaring signals for the Cowboys. His efforts have reached the point where the question is becoming, how could Dallas not take him first when it seems the match is so perfectly clear? Picking a running back early has its benefits and would signal an apparent win-now move. Granted, there are several players that will be on the board at pick number 12 that will fit that description. None of them, however, have orchestrated these near Micah Parsons levels of Cowboys enthusiasm. It will be a tough call for Dallas, with no signs indicating their vision for the upcoming draft. But if Jeanty is there when they are on the clock, the idea of the young star getting his homecoming would be tough to pass on. And are you a fan? What do you think of the Ashton Jeanty situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.